Hello, everyone. I welcome you all for a session from Breakdown to Breakthrough, Reimagining Emotional Wellness, a deep, reflective theme that traces Priyanka's own healing journey and uses it as an entry point to discuss resilience, nervous system regulation, and the societal stigma around emotional health. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Vandana Arvind, an entrepreneur, homemaker, Kathak dancer, and an independent consultant with a passion for creating meaningful conversations. I specialize in organizing roundtable discussions like the one we are about to experience, where diverse perspectives come together to challenge assumptions and spark new ideas. To introduce our guest for today, Priyanka Khandelwal Gupta. She is the founder of CH2 World Foundation, an integrative healing and emotional wellness ecosystem based in Pune. With nearly 2 decades of experience across corporate HR, education leadership, design thinking, and emotional health, she blends science, empathy, and lived wisdom to refine how we understand well being. A former HR and education leader turned wellness advocate, Priyanka's own journey through a life altering health challenge inspired her to create CH2, a not for profit dedicated to making emotional wellness and common sense healing accessible to all. Known for her calm presence and clarity of thought, Priyanka now speaks widely on emotional regulation, trauma healing, women's health, and the mind body connection, helping individuals and organizations build emotionally intelligent, resilient, and thriving ecosystem. I welcome you, Priyanka. Before we start the conversation, would you like to speak something?
Thank you so much, Vandana, firstly, for inviting me for this beautiful conversation. And thank you, Herkes, for creating such a vibrant community. I went through uh, the system, and it's very beautifully designed. So, first, gratitude.
You're welcome. So before we start, so my first question to you is, what inspired you to transition from corporate HR and education leadership to founding CH2 World Foundation? And how did your own health journey shape your approach to wellness?
Hmm. So, yes, the answer is life happened, and things just moved, right? So, 18 years back, I was diagnosed with this incurable, rarest of the rare, kuch nahi ho sakta, live with it kind of a diagnosis, which is more of a sentence than a diagnosis, right? Because I have this tumor inside my spinal cord just below the brainstem. And so probably there are more people who have walked the moon than the number of people who have this. So it's that rare. So
Wow.
yeah, so that has been the challenge because there's no solution. So you have to find your own solution. So through that journey, last 8 years, what I found for myself, it was a no-brainer that okay, if it works for me, then it works for everyone, and it has to be shared. So that's how CH2 World Foundation was born, with an intent of having a space where a person just walks in and he or she is completely taken care of holistically, not a hospital, in the nature, because nature is one of the best healers, right? So that was the intention when we started off. And yeah, so my husband said, okay, let's build it. It does not exist. So that's how it all started, because as when it comes to healing, uh, when I say healing, it is simply improving your quality of life, right? Now, that
Right.
can be, I define quality of life as, let's say, what is a really bad quality of life? The signs would be you've lost sleep, you have lost appetite, or you have difficulties in your relationships, or your productivity at work is going down because of certain symptoms that are happening in the body. So that means your quality of life is really bad if it starts affecting. Now, that's low quality of life. High quality of life would be, you are getting up early, or whenever you're getting up, you are all fresh, energetic, and looking forward to the day, and everything is perfect in terms of your blood markers. you're just happy as a person, which is great. Well, sorry, happy may not be a necessary thing, right? Because there are people with six packs, abs, and the fittest of the body, but still the depression is real, the mind body connection, which I keep talking about. So that's like your low quality of life and high quality of life. And in between are the people, in my experience, I've seen that, till your physical issue does not start affecting your life, we don't get serious. So that's the in between. I feel like, thyroid, PCOD, diabetes, blood pressure, sometimes things are happening, but 90% of the times you're fine, so you don't even feel the need of making a very drastic change which is required, but you're still like in that zone. And bottom line to everything, in my experience, has been nervous system regulation, right? Our brains are beautiful. Our body is amazing. Our body has its own self healing mechanism. All it needs is time and space. We don't give that. And that is the intent of creating a space where you just come in and you are calm, within yourself, you get your pathways. So all the activities are around that, which is dance, meditation, music, artist therapy, yoga, sound healing, doctors consulting, because we have integrative medicine. So we have allopathic doctors also, oncologists, neurosurgeons, to just observe the patients, not prescribe. And the healing happens holistically with naturopathy, acupuncture, acupressure. So there are over 55 activities under one roof.
Wow. This is a new word, or probably I'm just thinking while you were speaking, the quality of life as to how we are able to define. And I mean, yeah, so, it is not about creation of wealth. It's not about how you're, how you're progressing in your career, but it's all about how you're managing your health and your emotions, like, CH2, like you said, holistic way, where you're able to be at your best at any given point in time, or probably, have that, the common sense thing, like you said, where you are able to relate to things and work at the best, keeping your emotions calm and going ahead with so many things. Yeah, makes sense.
Absolutely. And common sense, health, and happiness. CH2 is that, right? These are the three basic things we all need in life all the time. And these three things keep going up and down because of core, if we look at it, it's emotions, right? There are times when you say something, you do something, and then you look back and you're like, oh my god, how could I do something so stupid, or how could I react in this particular way, or how could I say something like that? That is where your common sense was gone, because the emotions and the body overpowered, right?
Oh,
Yes,
mm.
so that is where regulation comes in very handy. It's easier said than done. Life is a journey, right? It's not that anyone would get it perfect all the time. Otherwise, we'll turn into Buddha, right? Ki bas khatam, calm. But it's a learning, it's a journey, it's a practice, it's a lifestyle. As long as we are aware, that's the first step.
But trust me, it's not easy, because once you get into that emotion of anger, or that, how dare somebody did or something like that, it's so difficult to control that emotion at that point in time. I don't know how SEH2 is able to, go in that direction, or how you're able to imbibe that kind of a sense of emotional control. For us as human beings, I find it very difficult to handle sometimes. The kind of rage and the kind of that frustration that comes, just you're just not able to control it. Yeah. So maybe you can give us some tips
Yeah,
later on.
sure, sure. I have something. So one of the easiest things when you're very angry, right? Now again, mind-body connection. We are not aware when we are angry. What happens in your body? What's happening? Tell me when you get very angry.
Basically, that one first thing is you're just getting heated up, and not necessarily you're sweating, but yeah, you're like anger, and you're just not able to think beyond that particular thing or the incidents that has happened, and you want to, just talk about it, and you want to remove your frustration by either saying things or probably, using some kind of a gesture or trying to
Throw something, or you want to throw, you bang the door, or you just like, so the sensations that you're talking about is, first is your body starts clenching, right? There are people who actually physically clench the fist also, इतना होता है, right? तो यहाँ पे tightness होती है, आपकी पूरी body clench होने लगती है, like you rightly said, palpitations, heartbeat बढ़ जाती है, sweating होती है, body temperature बढ़ जाता है. So these are all the signs of, now we come to my favorite topic. These are all the signs of fight, flight, or freeze mode, where your nervous system is actually getting ready to, when you're angry, it wants to, what does it want to do? Fight, or run away, or freeze? What happens?
I think all three. Sometimes you want to fight, and you want to sometimes, once you remove that anger, you're like in a freezing state of mind where like, oh shit, how can I do this? How can I bang the door?
That
Did
is
I bang
later.
the door?
That happens later. But when you are angry, either you want to fight, like, just punch that person in the face or do
That's
something, yeah, or run away. So this depends on person to person. Sabka apna hota hai, right? How you react. And freeze is generally, you don't freeze when you're angry. It's mostly it's fight. You want to do something about it, right? Now, this happens, this particular fight, flight, and freeze mode. Why are we, all humans have that? It's like our inbuilt process in our CPU. We're born with it. Why? Because we were we were given that to survive, so that if there's any danger, then we can either run. So let's say if a tiger comes right in front of us, so one of the three things would happen, right? I mean, if there's, I mean, common sensically, we won't fight a tiger,
you
right? That's
won't
common
run
sense.
away.
Hmm. Flight happens generally, you run away or you freeze. You're just frozen there, right? Now, these are the three responses. If a tiger comes, then your body getting into this responsive state. And when this happens, all the symptoms that we discussed happen in the body of every particular human being. Now, my personal experience with my this tumor, my this thermoregulation dysfunction happened in the body, and that was like the last straw, like last worst thing that could happen, which was, if I would get into this fight, flight, or freeze mode, I would be in bed for days together, no sleep. My body, if it heats up, it does not know how to cool down, vice versa. So that is what actually, so the only solution was training myself to calm myself down manually, because automatically to hona band ho gaya. So that is why I could think of, observe all these things very clearly, the mind body connection. So whenever the fight, flight, or freeze mode happens, in anger, one of the things that you can do is, like, you basically, it's a lot of energy rushing in the body when you're angry,
True.
right? Now that energy has to be let out. Otherwise, it stays in the body, and then it affects some system or the other. Jo bhi aapka weak hai. Eventually, if there's, over the years, if this happens too much, then it generally results in one of the diseases, right? How do you let go of the energy? One way is you scream, shout, you throw things, you do something, right? As you punch and that energy goes off. Uske baad shanti lagti hai na thodi si. Like that rage goes off if you, let's say, hit someone. But that's not what we do, common sense. But if we keep that anger also, that is also bad for us, right? Now,
Hmm.
what we do, so simple exercises, you can just, whenever you're feeling angry, you just clench your thigh muscles, okay? Just clench your thigh muscles and keep
Mhm.
it for like 8-10 seconds, jitna bhi hold karna, and release it. Just do that much. धीरे धीरे breathing करो, सिर्फ just with the clenching of the muscles, that energy kind of gets deviated there, and थोड़ा सा आपका दिमाग शांत होगा. Now that's a practice. Try it
Hmm.
out. And then
Wow,
there's breath work also, but just one first. You just clench your muscles and release. That urge of hitting will kind of go.
that's a nice piece of advice. So, in your experience, now what are the common emotional wellness challenges faced by professionals, students, and communities, and how can they be addressed?
Mm. uh, the common, I think, is everyone in today's times is quite overwhelmed, right? Sab aise, ek wo hota na, everyone is on the edge. You just push
True.
them, nudge them a little bit, and blasts.
Very
And
true.
dusts are different for everyone. Someone will scream and shout, or someone will just isolate themselves and not talk and, get into that whole in your head thing. So everything is again unique person to person. But I feel that overwhelm, that uh, that breath is a little heavy with kind of everyone because of, I think, too much information. We have too much information. Social media, youngsters are all hooked onto it. Then there is comparison. Then the emotions are like, on social media, what is the dominant emotion that people go through? It's envy, jealousy, right? I am sitting here in holidays working, and oh, everyone else is on the beach and enjoying themselves, causes envy. Fear, everyone has fear, right? All of us, it's a human thing. So everyone I feel is on the edge, and that's why I call that, I mean, it is nervous system dysregulation. And when it happens over a period of time, which has happened with us with social media for like 10-15 years, it just keeps kind of multiplying. So calming down is the medicine for everyone. I think that is what each of us needs.
I think very true. Now I'm able to relate. I read an article in the paper last week where two young girls, class ninth, somewhere in East India, they saw on Insta the kind of life lived in other cities like Mumbai. And they both decided to pack their bags because they felt the life there is very good and they decided to go out of the house. Imagine. And
Uh-huh.
then they were like in a state where they were not able to decide, and somehow parents somehow got them back. But yeah, I'm able to relate those things now, the kind of emotional things that they undergo while watching so many reels and
And
yeah,
it's not just Bombay. The problem is, our kids are sitting in Pune and looking at Korea and whatnot, like across the globe. At least earlier we were limited to the geography with Sharma ji ka beta. That's the only comparison that would happen, right? The neighborhood and the classes and all that. Now there's no limit, and same goes with parents, right? Parents are comparing with that. What was that? That child who would code at the age of 7 and make 1 crore rupees.
very true. So,
Yeah.
can you share a memorable moment or transformation story from someone who has benefited from CH2 program?
Hmm. Mhm. Yeah, one of my favorites was when there's this auntie who comes who has cancer, which breast started with breast cancer, moved to lung, and then brain, and a lot of complications. So I took her to the oncologist, who's one of the best in India, and wanted a very. I said, give a very ghar wala kind of an advice. Ki what is to be done? They were going to take like 25 lakhs, ki 10 more injections to do. She'd already gone through 52 chemotherapies, which is a lot for a body to take. So anyway, so she came to CH2. She started doing her naturopathy therapies and sound healing and meditation. And one, she always looks forward to coming to CH2. So that was my one of the happiest things. And then one day her daughter comes in and says that, Priyanka, I have a new problem now. I said, what? She's like, "Ki, my mom is her sleeping pills. She's off the sleeping pills now. And now she's worried that if I don't eat medicine, then how will I get better?" I was like, wow, this is a good problem to have. I'm very happy.
So, what do you do? I mean, what did you do, and how did the transformation happen?
See, in this particular case, anyway, there is nothing that can be done. Like me, right? Incurable. You've come to that stage. So for her specifically, like I said, our nervous system is dysregulated. When we are sick, it is even worse. So there are
Right.
times when if I talk and counsel, and if you understand the point, things can just happen like that, just with understanding also. But then there are times, obviously, when you are into something. I have cancer, whatever, and then if you give me gyan, I will not listen to it. And that time we have to work on the body part. So naturopathy therapies like mud pack, acupressure, acupuncture, all these healing modalities are basically just calming your nervous system down. So that truly helped her. Her sleep started getting better because, of course, there is stress, right? You're diagnosed with cancer, you're living in pain, there's the
Mhm.
quality of life is horrible, right? So you work on the body. So we have to keep working on both. Sound healing helps you sleep, right? Because so many thoughts are running in your mind all the time. If you sit and say that, okay, I'm going to calm myself down, it doesn't happen, right? Thoughts just keep multiplying. So sound healing is my favorite, let the sound do the magic. Ting, just because of the sound, at least 50% thoughts go down. So that sound healing helps in the insomnia a lot. And community, it's very lonely when you are unwell, because only you know what you're going through. Plus the caregivers burnout is also real. The family is so stressed. They are, of course, again in fear all the time. What will happen? What is the next moment going to look like? That uncertainty is really, so more than patients, I feel, caregivers need to come to CH2 more, because if your energy is good, only then you can help the other person. Otherwise it's like a mess. One person sick and the entire family, it's tough. Then
There for tension and the kind of turmoil and yeah.
and the fear, majorly the fear with
Mm.
such kind of diseases. And that's what I say, that quality of life, when so much fear comes in that you have something terminal or something crazy, then your common sense kind of comes in place, that you are into that listening mode. Okay, tell me what is to be done. Until your quality of life is not messed up, you're like, la la la, ha, theek hai, it's going on. Let me enjoy a little more, one more this, one more that. Discipline takes a little time. So that is where we have a lot of fun things, that, okay, do the fun things and slowly you will transition. That you can't push anyone. You can't push anyone. We just can offer them.
Very true. So, do people in CH2 when they come to you, do you have a stay facility or do they come in the morning and they leave by evening?
Now we have
They,
6 rooms also. So for
okay.
example, we have Dr. Khedkar, who's a specialist in pain. So you have any kind of pain. Again, my spine is so crazy. No, nobody on earth touches my spine. Uh, None of the neurosurgeons, nobody, no physiotherapist, because I have everything: kyphosis, scoliosis, vertigo, cervical spondylosis. Like, one spine having so much does not exist. So he has helped me with the rope and belt therapy. So he's here. So my all my doctor team is like that. I call them the good doctors. Ki kuch to, crazy they do. So belt and rope therapy is what we do for. He's saved almost 1,500 patients from knee surgery just with belt and rope therapy.
Wow.
So yeah. So now for that, if you have to stay for a month and all, so there has to be a room. That's why we have 6 rooms here. In fact, I'm sitting in one of the rooms.
Okay.
Yeah. So we
Mhm.
do have stay. We have so we're starting off a cafe also now. I mean, that was part of the plan from day one, but I was uh, too busy with CH2 and the doctors and the healing, which is the serious part, um, and that's what I started off for. So all that is now set. The team is set. We have all the facilitators and classes and all. Now we're starting the Raha Cafe. Like I said, we cannot push or preach anyone. So Raha is like a doorway, which will have tea, coffee, and sourdough sandwich kind of. More than food, it's the space that is the product. Um, it has some 9,600 plants, fish pond, a waterfall, a mystic. It's like a hill station within the city. It's in Goregaon.
Oh,
So
wow.
the moment you walk in, your nervous system is 50% minimum set.
I think a must visit for anyone who comes to Pune, at least to get a glimpse of how to heal yourself, when you go back to work.
Yeah. I think
Very
just
nice.
come and be, and your journey will start somewhere or the other. Whatever, some people who like dance, so they come for the dance movement therapy. If you, so there's steam, sauna, there's mud. So even if you're an athlete, you can do a lot of recovery work here. So there's something for everyone. It's just that you walk in and you design your own journey along with us.
In your programs. Yeah.
Hmm.
So, what practical steps can individuals take to build resilience and improve their emotional well-being, especially during times of uncertainty?
Hmm. See, one is, um, again, just understanding one thing in life, which is, we always see, right, in the moment, live in the moment. It's all written on t-shirts and mugs and various places. But truly, if we understand, which is such a simple thing actually, Like, for example, if you're feeling very scared or stressed or whatever, बच्चे का क्या होगा, मम्मी पापा की तबीयत का क्या होगा, खुद का जो भी है, सबके अपने अपने, whatever. If you're feeling stressed at a particular time, uh, just remembering that now is the only reality, right? The moment right now, even 1 second back, it's gone.
Mhm.
Past is no more, it does not exist, right? And future is just a figment of imagination, right? And what we keep doing is we keep reminiscing the past, that, oh, my, someone did this to me and someone that did that to me and whatever. You keep remembering that all the time.
Very true.
Or you keep worrying about the past. What if my son doesn't study, then he doesn't get a job, and then what will happen in his life, blah, 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 all the future, right? And in this, we are just not here. In this present moment, what is happening? You're just stressed, palpitations, sweating, your entire body is going for a toss. And if this keeps happening for a long period of time, that's called chronic stress, which leads to diseases. So it's like a loop. It's like you entered that loop. And what is the way to come out of that loop is just simple understanding that right now, in this moment, am I okay? Are things okay right now? This moment I'm talking, not even 2 seconds back. This moment. And you just come back. I'm okay in the now. And imagine if you keep living every moment now, 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 how will you be stressed? Because past to chhod diya na. It's stupid to even think of past. It's stupid. It's even more stupid to think about the future. Because if I try to control too much future, that means, do I know everything? Can I do everything? That's ego, massive. No, nothing is in your hand. And also, I keep saying that, again, another thing that you can do at that particular moment is think of a moment that happened in the past, also something similar, right? It can be related to your job, it can be some stress situation where you were like, oh my God, this is it. I am done. I don't know what will happen in my life, kind of. Everyone has gone through that. Think of that episode and then just think, how did that problem get solved? Mostly your answer would be that, oh yes, I don't know, but somewhere this person came in and that solution came in. Most of the times the answer is that. It's not that you solved it, we didn't do anything, it just happened. So always remember, when last problems got solved just like that, then this one also will. Just we need to just calm down, stop reacting. Koi sher nahi aaya hai right now. But the problem is, we are just, our body is so attuned that it's like the tiger is everywhere while the tiger is nowhere. When you put scrolling on social media, your body is reacting as if tiger is everywhere. You're in that, you know, I've observed, I went off social media 3 years back during my healing journey only because I observed that, even when I'm shopping, like scrolling on social media for shopping, my heart rate is increasing because I'm getting excited looking at the products. And anyway, my mind body connection was too much because that's all I had to learn to survive. So, you remove all of that. So, calming yourself down in various situations with either thoughts or simply then change your environment. That is another third thing that I always say, that, if you're stressed, just get out of that environment. That itself will release the stress. If you're in the house, go for a walk, go down. If you're in office getting very angry at your boss or whoever, just walk out, take a walk and come back. You will be more relaxed. So environment makes a lot of difference. And in fact, that is why we created Raha. That,
Mhm.
that space you just walk in and you are automatically calm down.
Very true.
Mm.
So your message is like, stay in the present and keep your emotions under control and figure out what ways work best for you so you can accordingly, channelize your energy in the right direction and not take any hasty decision based on, you know, sometimes it happens that we are so engrossed with our thoughts, we don't think. And we actually, a lot of times, we don't control our emotions and we are like,
Control nahi karna hai. That's the problem. No control. You have to release your emotion. If you control, then it will just keep boiling up. Release, as in with that exercise, like I said, right? Clench your thigh muscles. That's how you're releasing that emotion. With emotion is energy in motion. So you have to release that energy, right? When I say go out for a walk, you're releasing that emotions by just walking and going into the nature, ideally, go grounding, or simply writing it down. That also works really well. One night I remember when it was too much happening, and I just could not take it. It was almost 9 days that I hadn't slept, and trust me, you go crazy when you lose sleep. So that note, I still kind of have it in my laptop. I don't go and read it though, but I just typed everything that was coming in my head, that whatever, no filter, just keep writing and just throw it away. That writing itself helps you release. So we have to find our ways of releasing emotions. No control. You can't control anything. And the more you go to control emotions, the worse it'll happen.
Further gets frustrating, I guess.
Yeah. Because वो होगा ही नहीं ना.
नहीं होगा. True. I think, Priyanka, you have gone through so many emotions in your journey, not just taking care of yourself, but also now taking care of so many patients who come to you with so many problems and what all. So I think your wellness journey is looks like a Bollywood movie to me now.
Yeah.
So what would be the title and who would play you?
Title, I think. So I've never got a tattoo, and we've been thinking what to get. So I just had the thought that NOW, now, can be the movie. Like I was just explaining, right? Now is the only reality. Rest everything is fiction of imagination or the past. So now, and if you look at NOW and you do the reverse, WON, if you're in the now, you have won.
You
So
won the battle.
yes,
At least half of the battle is won.
you are in now, you are done. There's no battle then anymore.
Wow.
Just
So
a
what's your go-to wellness tip? That sounds simple to work, but actually does.
Hmm. Okay, so one of them is this is my favorite breath work because, again, manually regulating your nervous system. So you basically just you try it out while I'm saying.
Mhm.
Uh, just sit a little straight and take two short breaths. Take two short inhales, like, and then exhale with your mouth little open, as if there is a straw in your mouth. Okay, so just take two swift inhales and then exhale with your mouth open. Don't ऐसा ये नहीं करना, just like little mouth open. Just do it like 2 times.
Hmm. Done.
Can you feel a little difference?
I can feel something happening in my mind, like, it's bringing me further, making me further calmer, I guess.
Hmm. So you can try this. Like again, when you're angry, just go out, go into the bathroom, and just do this. If you're scared, also, if anything, any low vibration emotion happening, just do this kind of breath work. You're going for a meeting, just before that, do this. Nervousness goes off, things go. Now do it like 5 times in Shanti say, then you will feel the difference. I don't know. I to feel instantly, but try it out. That's like the simplest one that we can do. And otherwise, self love works really well. Like for me, just putting some nail paint on or changing my nail paint. If I'm too stressed, I'll just sit and change my nail paint. And that little happiness just switches your mind. That's all. And hug your loved ones. The oxytocin that releases, that's my best medicine. My son, hugging my son throughout my journey, I think that was my true medicine.
Very true. And who would play your character?
Karina Kapoor, because I've been told
You
quite.
resemble a lot, right? Even
And
I
then my
strongly.
crying is my thing, right? Like I just cry like that. So yeah, I've been told that I turn red when I cry, and I like her. So yeah, of course, I think. Hmm.
So, what is the funniest or maybe most unexpected thing that has happened during one of your healing workshop or sessions? If you could share one or two, maybe.
Funny. It's actually quite emotional, I can tell you a lot of good emotional feel good things, but funny may, let's say in sound healing, someone farts. Snoring is a thing. It's fine. Hota hai. Then we have the nasal clips also now. But
Right.
yeah, and people get conscious about it. We're like, oh, theek hai, matlab. Of course. I mean, that's the whole intention. You're holding up so much release in whichever ways. Fart also helps.
Very
Absolutely.
true. Hmm. So at at CH2 World Foundation, and as it aims is to impact so many people, I think 1,000 plus people in the next 2 years. So
Mhm.
what are the exciting new programs or initiatives are you planning for 2026?
Hmm. So, one is the cafe that we're going to start so that it's like an easy in. You tell that, okay, there's a new place, and let's go for a coffee or come for a tea. People just come and then they will start their journey, so that will just happen. um, but apart from that, I'm very excited about the school and corporate programs because, again, I've come from corporate and education background. So I've designed a five sensory program, which is nervous system reset through five senses. So that I'm going to start off. We have the first program on Jan 5th in one of the schools in Pune, where whatever I've spoken about, more than talking, it's experiential. That we do aromatherapy, we do acupressure, train them on certain points. So they'll go through five activities right there and actually feel the calm. So that is what I'm really looking forward, where we can, work with hundreds of people together also. So because awareness and education is the key here, at CH2, that is what we say: awareness, education, and experience. You can know a lot of things, and knowing today is the easiest thing, right? Just AI tells you everything. But doing is where the magic lies. I can know a lot of breath work and this and that and all that, but if you don't do it, nothing works. But the key is starting with people are not even aware that, when I'm stressed, what happens in my body. So I ask my patients and my, people this first question. Lord, most of the times there's a disconnect. They have to really think that, acha. Then when I tell them that, what, this happens, they're like, yeah, 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 this happens. So that's how disconnected we are at mind and body level. So it has to start from there. Mm.
Wow, very nice. And I think it's a very good initiative that you're starting from institutes, because that is where I think a lot of children today are need to understand how to balance their mind, body, and you know live a happy life, then being so stressed up with so many things.
Yeah.
Like you said, they are like at the edge where there's so many things around them, so much of information that they have, but how to use and when to use and how to regulate your resources in the best possible manner that you are able to achieve something out of it, then just going in everywhere and anywhere, and end of it you are like thinking what are you doing in life, and that is what creates, I think, a lot of anger and frustration, thinking that you're going nowhere. I mean,
Mm.
it's know everything, and a lot of kids today, when you talk to them, they are like, oh, I know. Don't guide me. I know everything. Ah, I've seen that. Oh, I know these things. But when it comes to what is it that you're doing in life, they are like, what am I doing? They don't have an answer for that, I guess.
True,
Yeah.
true. And for me, I always say that more than the kids, the parents, the grandparents, we all need it because they only learn from what they see. Of course, they see too much online now. They even don't even look at others too much. But that's so in schools also we're starting with teachers first.
Oh, train the teachers
Yeah,
program.
because their nervous system is obviously dysregulated, right? Imagine as parents, one or two children, we get overwhelmed. She has to manage 30, 40, 70 in a day. And that gets taxing, that does. So teachers and incorporates parents, right? Because I always believe that kids are always never at fault. It's something that's happening in the environment where, they've kind of picked up. So I like to work more with parents. Kids' love is their medicine.
Very true. Very true. Thank you. It was wonderful interacting with you. I look forward to many more sessions with you. And as you grow and as CH2 World Foundation is growing, maybe we can have further more interaction as to what are the other benefits that the people can get from the healing and the different programs that you have. So I open the session. If there is any question for any one of you, you could ask, or you could put it in the chat box.
Hi, I'm Diksha. So I joined this session just 10 minutes back and I attended this breathwork practice. For me, it was quite soothing and I also instantly felt quite calm with it.
Oh, great.
And,
You tried the breath work. I'm
yeah.
glad.
Great. Thank you, Priyanka, and I hope the audience will benefit from this video as we put it on social media. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Lovely chatting with you. Thank you.
Same here. Bye bye.
Bye bye.